Hey guys, I have this video here from Rhykker that is called I Tried Diablo 4 Season 7, my brutally honest review. And I wanted to watch this video because I like Rhykker a lot. He's very positive, but he's also fair, you know. So I would like to hear his opinion. If you guys already know my opinion, but I will repeat it. I think that the Season 7 for Diablo 4 is probably the best season yet. I like it a lot in terms of the Diablo 4 ecosystem, but it is still Diablo 4. The game itself needs a lot of improvements. I am not against the game being catered to casuals. In fact, I do like it, and I think that they should stick to that. It is a good decision that Blizzard sticks to the casual audience, but casual is not the same as being stupid, so they should add more stuff to do in the game and fix some stuff that isn't as cool. For example, I think that the skill trees should be improved, the Paragon board should be improved, and there should be a more robust endgame for stuff to do. That is my honest, positive, normal review, not being inflammatory, not being negative. I like the game, you guys know this. I am not the for hater. I have to preface with this because I don't know why people are so tribalistic that if I cover Diablo 4 and I say something bad, what I get is, if you don't like the game, don't say anything about it. I do like the game. I want the game to improve. Or if I say something negative about PoE, the same thing happens. I like the both games. I want the both games to be the best they can be. But stop yapping. Just let's get into the video.
Hey folks, this is Rhykker, and with a new season of Diablo 4 having just launched, we must once again ask the age-old question, D4 bad? Well, let's find out.
Kinda.
In this video, we'll cover Diablo 4's
D4 is better, but it's still D4.
New season, but we'll also talk about rumors of the game hitting Nintendo Switch 2, as well as BioWare's rocky future.
By the way, if you buy a Switch and a Switch 2 instead of a Steam Deck, what the fuck are you doing, man?
And a rebuttal from Microsoft about a damning report. Now, if you're diving into Diablo 4 Season 7, I have an ultimate guide to the season with the fastest leveling tips and explanations on the new season mechanic. I also have a tier list on the best classes for the season,
I watched the tier list.
As well as a beginner guide to Vessel of Hatred. If you're new to the game or new to the expansion, you can find all these video guides on my website, Rhykker.com. All right, starting off with Diablo news. Diablo 4 is free to play until January 28th, which I believe includes the Spiritborn class and Vessel of Hatred content.
I didn't know that. That in theory affects the player numbers, right? Because there are in theory more players playing that shouldn't be playing because the game is free. I didn't know that. I knew that like in December the game became free for a while, but I didn't know that it lasted till this day, you know?
And the game itself was discounted during this time as well. Now, Season 7, Season of Witchcraft, launched on Tuesday, and early reports from players seem to be positive. In fact, I think this is the smoothest season launch yet. No major complaints seem to have emerged from the community. Keyword again, yet. Now, that said, just anecdotally, I feel like this season isn't very popular. I feel the
same. You guys know that we can see the views and the statistics and the numbers and the analytics on the stuff. The stuff for Diablo 4 in this season is less popular than in any season I have ever seen. And which is weird because this is the best season yet. And it's not just my opinion. The majority of people that actually play the game think that this is the best season yet.
I see people in-game. I feel like Twitch and YouTube numbers aren't doing great. But if you look at the Steam numbers, they seem comparable to Seasons 4 and 5. Now, obviously, you know, they're nowhere close to Season 6. Season 6 numbers were really good. But that was the launch of an expansion, so obviously you're guaranteed to have much more players. And as a reminder, folks, the Steam population is like the tiniest fraction of a percentage of Diablo 4's player base.
That is true. What we have to remember that when we look at the Steam chart of a game that has a launcher or is mostly played on another platform, like PoE 2, for example. I don't play PoE 2 on Steam. I play it on the actual launcher. We have to remember that when we look at that Steam chart, we are not looking at the number of players. We are looking at the graph itself. Because although we don't have an accurate number, the graph normally tends to be similar on the actual launcher, you know. The graph tells you the sentiment among the community. The graph tells you the spikes, the lowest. The actual graph won't be that different from the one from the Steam. That is what I am trying to say. So you can see the perception the community has of the game looking at the graph. Just by looking at the graph in Steam charts. You don't care about the number, you care about the graph.
Which on PC is mostly on Battle.net, and then you also have PlayStation and Xbox. So always take the Steam numbers with a grain of salt. Now, myself personally, after I tried the PTR in December, I wasn't terribly excited for Season 7. But I found myself having a good time so far. And I believe if you look at the season objectively, this is the best season of Diablo 4.
Yeah,
if someone were to start playing D4 this season, this is the best state the game has ever been in. I previously thought Vessel of Hatred was its best state. Season 6 had a weak theme, and class balance was terrible because of the broken Spiritborn.
This is a question that is really hard to ask. Would I recommend D4? Look, if you want to play the best ARPG you can right now, I wouldn't recommend D4. I would recommend Path of Exile 2. Now, if you are a person that doesn't have that much time to play and you enjoy the fantasy of just blasting through everything, I would recommend D4 to you. Because to be able to enjoy the pinnacle content in Path of Exile 2, you have to invest a lot of hours. And I am not talking about the complexity. I am just talking about the time investment that the game needs. Path of Exile 2 needs a bigger time investment. And someone that doesn't have that much time to play won't have that. Also, if you like the blasting, zoom, Path of Exile also has that, but you have to play one of the meta builds and play for a lot to get the gear to be able to do that. While in D4, basically every build plays like that. So I would also recommend D4 to that person. But I wouldn't do a blanket statement like, yes, everybody should play D4, because I don't think it is like that. And for PoE 2, I would say that everybody should at least play the campaign. The campaign is really good. I would recommend the campaign of PoE 2 to everybody. Now, for the pinnacle content, that is an entirely different story.
But now, Season 7 is basically, we took that state, we now have a solid season theme, probably the best season theme, and balance is now good. Probably the best balance has ever been in the game. So overall,
outside of Bloodwave Necro,
like a win.
I played Bloodwave Necro last season, in Season 6. It was a really good build, but it wasn't as OP as this time around. The OP build was a Quill Body Spiritborn. And now I am playing the Earthquake Barbarian, which is again a strong build, but it is not the OP build. I really don't like playing the OP build of the season. The OP build this season is the Bloodwave Necro. Is in a tier of its own.
There's 3 things for myself personally that take away from enjoying the season as much as I possibly could. The first is Season 7 just kind of feels like a best of the past 6 seasons, which it.
Guys, I will tell you this. I hate this shit and Rhykker has to do it because it is his core game, his core audience. And I sometimes feel that I also have to do it because Diablo 4, I have released many games about Diablo 4. It is one of my main games. So I sometimes have to do it. But why do we have to do this? And what I am referring to is have to coddle our words. Be careful without words so the fanboys don't get angry at us because we are saying something negative about their game. Oh, if you don't like it, don't play it. Why are you releasing so many videos talking about shit about Diablo 4? Diablo 4 is never going to be the game that you want it to be. Just stop talking shit about this. Brother, I like the game. I want the game to be better. I will keep doing it, you know. And I shouldn't have to censor myself so these people don't get angry at me because I am saying something negative about the game. It is so fucking stupid, and Rhykker has to do it, and you can feel how he's trying to say the shit, but he's choosing carefully his words to not angry people. This is so fucking stupid, man.
It's great that they've taken everything that worked before and basically smushed it all together and perfected it this season, right? The witch powers are an improved take on blood powers.
Yes.
A better upgrade path.
And the sockets
They're
for
now
the
shared amongst
malignant
all
hearts.
characters, which is also something that is much appreciated relative to the blood powers. They're more interesting, they're more visual. Then the occult gems are malignant hearts turned into a long tail progression system with more depth to them. The headhunt zones are
Exactly. That is why this season is the best. I love borrowed power, and this season has the best borrowed power so far.
probably the best seasonal zone takeover events yet, with tons of density and loot and different events to do in them. Then the root holds take aspects of Infernal Horde mini dungeons and other past mini dungeons, but again, it juices them up, builds them into something more, gives us more interesting choices to make, more density as well. So for someone experiencing all of this for the first time, it is awesome. For those of us who have played all 6 seasons, while again, it does feel like this is all executed very well, it just doesn't feel novel. So that was number one.
That is
number
true.
2,
And again, the thing that I have told you many times, guys, not playing the campaign again is a drawback, and we think it is something positive. Because what happens is that from level 1, you start doing the whispers, and when you are level 50, you are bored. You don't want to do more whispers. You have done infinite whispers, and all the quests are do more whispers, do more whispers, do more whispers. It is fine at the start, but it gets solved really fast.
progression is too fast for my tastes. I'm someone who can spend a lot of time playing, more than the average person, I understand, and I want to continue to play for a long time, and now we're hitting level 60 in 3 hours, and blasting through the torments, and loot is raining from the sky constantly, to the point that you rapidly need to start ignoring loot drops, because you can't pick it all up. And again, I'll stress this is a me thing.
I understand his perspective, and I kind of agree, but I also like leveling fast. You guys know this if you have seen my WoW videos. I like leveling fast in WoW, for example, but it is because leveling in WoW is boring, and the endgame is fun. So I want to get to the fun part. But in D4, there is no pinnacle content. If I had something like the Arbiter of Ash, like the Delirium, the Simulacrum that is in PoE 2, like the Breaches that are in PoE 2, if I had that in Diablo 4, then I would be really happy that I level fast because I can get faster to the actual content that I do want to do, right? Like in WoW. The problem in D4 is that leveling is part of the content and you are blasting through it and then you don't have anything to do.
I'm not saying how the game ought to be, I'm just saying this negatively impacts my personal enjoyment, but I can bet you that this season will be very popular with a lot of players who are going to love how fast progression is and how so many items are dropping. Personally, I thought Season 6's pace of progression and loot drops was better. And then the third thing, again, that takes away from the season for me is we still have no endgame meta progression system to keep me engaged beyond the desire to just...
The only thing you can do is push big tiers, which a lot of people think that's boring. I like it. I think it is cool. If you balance the game that doing 150p is impossible, and you just try to break the wall doing the highest that you can, it is fun. Now, if every class can do 150 and it is just a matter of doing it faster, then it is not that fun. But if 150 is like something impossible to accomplish and you are just trying to get there as much as you can, it is fun. But you have to give it the leaderboard in-game. I know we have third-party websites that are managed by players. That is not the same. A lot of people don't want to engage with that. So if you make these two changes for the pit pushing can be a fun experience, an engaging experience, and it's a way of testing and improving your build. But it is still not enough. I like it, but we still need more stuff. Give me a cool pinnacle boss that is not Uber Lilith. That sucks, brother. The boss sucks not only because you one-shot it and you don't do the mechanics, but even if you have to do the mechanics, no one wants to do it because the boss sucks, you know? Give me a cool boss.
Get stronger for the sake of getting stronger. I just blast a character until I'm satisfied with its gear and paragon, and then I'm done. I don't want to be done, I want to keep playing, but there's nothing to keep me going past a certain point. There's no purpose. And
Exactly.
now the progression is so much faster, I'm going to get to that point faster. Now, thankfully, because class balance is so good in Season 7, I'm planning to make multiple builds on multiple characters, so hopefully that is what's going to keep me playing longer. But ultimately, I think this is a key thing that Diablo 4 is still missing for it to be the best game that it can possibly be. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. Season 7 is
Endgame
actually
stuff,
terrible,
yeah.
and I hate it because of this. Alright, I am right-clicking, and I'm hitting play. And when shit stops dropping, I'm gonna stop this timer.
I think this looks cool, but it goes for too long, bro.
Still going. 12 seconds. Still going.
And you can go away because you have to pick up
going.
this stuff.
Is this a joke? Is this an out of season April Fool's?
It looks
joke?
cool
We're on
for
23
3 seconds, but for
It is
20
still
seconds
pooping
it
out
is
of
too
this
much.
goddamn sack.
It is too much.
30 seconds, guys.
Efficient.
Okay, I think that was it. 33 seconds. 33 seconds for loot to drop out of this.
Too much, bro. That is torture. It is cool that now you have the pet, that the pet picks it up for you, but this has to be faster. I like the effect, to me personally. It is like a little bit of a dopamine hit when you see the... But it is too long, dude. Give me just for 2 or 3 seconds. I don't know. Or I know that for the majority of people, they would want it to be instant.
What is going on? No, but seriously, as a reiteration, I think this is overall the best season of Diablo 4 yet, and I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy it. It is good that the devs take what worked in the past, iterate on it, and bring it back into the game in an even better format. And I wonder if the success of Headhunts will see changes made to Whispers, and I wonder if Root Holds are a test for changes to make Nightmare Dungeons more interesting. Now, I do want to revisit the loot filter discussion. I've held for years that a loot filter is a band-aid solution to a problem, and I would rather solve the problem at its source rather than just put a band-aid on it.
It is impossible. We have seen like PoE2 also try to do this, but then in the end game, even in a game that has less loot, you go to the endless loot. This is an impossible problem to fix at this point. Just give us loot filters and get away with it, dude.
At this point in the life of Diablo 4, I'll say it, just give me the band-aid.
Yeah.
I'm bleeding here. We need a loot filter. Too much stuff drops. We're leaving stuff on the ground. It's getting yeeted into my stash. I don't want it. I'm leaving it on the ground on purpose. And once you start leaving stuff on the ground...
By the way, I like that feature. And I would want it to see it in PoE2. That valuable items that you forget to pick up or you die and you couldn't pick up get sent automatically to your stash like they do in D4.
That means you need to filter it. It's not even about the white and blue and yellow items anymore. Yeah, I mean, obviously we still don't want
Which are
those,
useless.
but
Those are
it's
useless.
legendary.
Why does something exist that serves no purpose? And you can tell me no, because of the early game, because like at level 3, 4, 5 that you are doing whispers, you are getting legendaries already. So they serve no purpose. Just give me legendaries and forget about this shit. Like, they are useless. Don't tell me no, because you salvage those and those gives you the materials. Yes, the legendaries also give you the materials and they rain from the sky. They serve no fucking purpose. You don't pick them up. You don't pick them up.
Areas that we're leaving behind now. Also, poor console players are not even able to target what loot they pick up. So they are forced to pick up all the trash around them at random until they get the item
that is
they
stupid
want.
as fuck, dude.
These guys aren't just bleeding, they're hemorrhaging. This is
Yeah,
not
that
a
is
good
insane.
gameplay
I wouldn't play
experience.
at that point.
Then,
Fuck
just
that.
a little bit of a nitpick. Barrier has felt weird to deal with since Season 6. And in Season 7, we have a ton of more enemies with barrier on them.
They are doing it on purpose. They are doing it on purpose to buff the bosses so you don't one-shot them. These new bosses, guys, that spawn in the headhunts, they have like 4 life bars of barrier. And that is done on purpose so you just don't kill them and to artificially make them tankier. That is what is happening. And you will say, well, why don't give them more health? I think it is something also related to the potions, because you have the points where you get more potions, but with the health, with the barrier, you don't get that. and it is a whole bullshit. I would also prefer for them to extend the health bar, but they are doing the barrier bullshit, which is stupid in my opinion. Because it is frustrating that you are hitting the dude, and you don't see his life go down. It is like a bad reward system for a player.
I'm not opposed to more challenging content, but especially at lower levels, facing enemies with barrier just seems like a strange spike in how bullet spongy enemies are.
Yeah.
It almost feels like damage is not being properly calculated against barriers. I don't know. Now, one question I get asked a lot is it worth coming back for Season 7? Well, if you own Diablo 4 and you haven't...
Well, he's going to say what I think. If you own Diablo 4 and you like Diablo 4, or you kind of like Diablo 4, you are willing to give it a try, yes, definitely. Good season. If you have played it before and you have hated it, you are not going to like it this time. They didn't do something revolutionary that will magically make you like it. But if you already kind of liked it before and are thinking about giving it a try, yes, good season. The best season yet. But if you hated it before, this isn't going to change your mind. That is for sure. And I am 100% sure that is what he's going to say.
Played Season 6, which came with a huge overhaul patch, then yeah, it's worth giving it another try because it costs you nothing extra, and maybe you'll find that you like the game. So if you spent money in the game and you thought you didn't like it, well, you're going to recoup your money by now enjoying the experience. If you try Season 7 and you still don't like Diablo 4, then you can probably assume you'll never like Diablo 4 at this point. Similarly, if you tried Season 6 and did not like it, then you...
Because I don't see them completely revamping the game or transforming it into a different game. So if you don't like Season 7, which is the best season yet, yeah, they might improve the game, make it better, but it will be in the same trajectory, right? So if you don't like the direction the game is taking, you will probably never like it.
Are unlikely to like Season 7. And you don't need to buy Vessel of Hatred to play Season 7, by the way. Now, obviously, the big topic is Path of Exile 2 versus Diablo 4.
Yeah.
Look, both games are targeting different audiences at this point, as I've explained before in multiple videos. And Season 7 really feels like... We know it,
but that doesn't mean you can make objective statements. Like in a Game Award, for example, there are different genres of games that targets different audience, but you still try to make an objective assessment of what is the best game. I know this year they fuck it up with the Astrobot bullshit. Let's forget about that. Just think about the concept of the Game Award, right? If you had to give the Game Award to D4 or Path of Exile 2, come on, guys. Let's be honest in here. Who are we going to give the Game Award? We are going to give it to Path of Exile 2, even if they are targeting different audiences. Doesn't mean D4 is bad. It just means PoE2 is better.
The culmination of this. Diablo 4 is the ultimate power fantasy for maximum blasting enjoyment for people without much time to play, who want to chill and kill hordes of monsters and see loot rain from the sky.
Yep.
D4 is really leaning into being the ARPG for more casual players, as I've been saying, and I'll reiterate that is not...
Which is a good decision, and I agree with it, because PoE2 already took away from you the sweats and the hardcore audience. So you don't have to try to fight for that audience. You are never going to get it. Stick to your audience, that is the casual audience. The problem is, and I will repeat it, and I know that I have you guys, like you are already annoyed of me repeating this, but I have to make emphasis in case someone from Blizzard hears this sometime. Casual is not the same as stupid. You can make a great, awesome, the best casual game and still make it for human beings, you know? Because these people, casual just means you are playing less time, not that you are an idiot. The problem with D4 is that D4, okay, they assume you have less time to play. Cool, you are doing it right there. But then you are also assuming your audience are idiots. I don't like that. I don't like that.
A criticism, and I don't mean to... when I say casual players, I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
Exactly.
I myself
what I am saying.
am in many ways a casual player. Casual can mean different things to different people. But if that label has negative associations with it, let's stop calling it casual.
I hate it that it has negative associations because it is stupid. Casual just mean what I said. In fact, it is the Sweats is the negative association to me, because a casual player is playing less time because they have actual lives and they are doing actual stuff in their lives. It is not like me that I spend all my fucking day in this fucking room and I am not doing stuff outside. So the people that are okay are the casuals, and the sweats that are playing the game for 18 hours a day, that is the derogatory, dude.
Casual, here's what it comes down to. Some people want chocolate cake, some people want apple pie. It's good now that we have both of these things with D4 and PoE 2, because some people don't like apple pie and some people don't like chocolate cake. But some of us can enjoy both.
I like
in
both.
my case, I can enjoy both a chocolate cake and an apple pie for what they are. Sometimes
Bro, he's saying basically the same thing that I said. I use Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and someone commented in my video, and I love that comment, that I can compare Diablo 4 and PoE 2 to Coca-Cola and Pepsi, because at least Coca-Cola and Pepsi are good. I have to compare like a piece of cake with a tart or something like that. That was awesome, brother. It is not, I am paraphrasing, but it was something like that, the comment. But yes, you can choose if you want, of course. You can choose to play one and not the other, or not play any of them, or you can like both. There is no wrong choice in here.
I want one, sometimes I want the other. Oh, and a little tip for those playing Season 7. You can choose which currencies are visible in your inventory screen. Just go to your Material tab and select it. You'll probably want to see how much Restless Rot you have. Then, in other Diablo 4 news, there's a rumor that the game is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, which is releasing this year.
It is cool. It is cool. But, brother, I can see myself, like, I would buy a Switch 2, first if I had the money, which I don't, and if I had kids, right? Or if I had, like, lots of disposable income, and I don't give a fuck, right? But if I have to choose what to buy because I am tight on budget, I would 100% buy an Steam Deck. Why the fuck would I buy a Switch, dude?
This rumor comes from YouTuber Xtasis, who correctly leaked Diablo 1 coming to Game Pass just a few weeks ago. So I'm inclined to believe this one. He even thinks the Switch 2 release for D4 could happen in 2025 as well, which may make it a launch title. He also suggested that Fallout 4, Starfield, Tekken 8, Elden Ring, and the next Call of Duty game will all come to Switch 2. And it makes perfect sense. Diablo 3 released on the Switch in 2018. Diablo 4 already runs on the Steam Deck, so why not?
By the way, he mentioned the Game Pass. Guys, I will tell you something. I am not shield for no company yet until they pay me, but I am honest. The Game Pass is one of the things where I have spent money in games that I think it is really worth it, in my opinion. I don't know how much it is in your country, but here in Colombia, it is $5. And those are $5 well spent. You have access to a ton of good games. And in a month, you can, if you play a lot, you can play several of them. It is awesome. I really like the Game Pass.
Switch 2. Then lastly, the new Diablo 4 season has caused a delay in the scheduled Diablo 3 Season 34 start, which was supposed to happen last night, but is instead now launching next Friday, January 31st. Radar took to the forums to say that this was due to player feedback requesting that the two seasons start not overlap, as well as to ensure account states migrate over properly. This unfortunately means that the Darkening of Tristram event will be over by the time the season starts. It's always nice when a season happens during the Darkening of Tristram during January, because it offers a fun alternative leveling path. Too bad. Now, if you plan to play Season 34 of Diablo 3 and you want to grab the cosmetic rewards, the conquests you'll have to do this season are...
the only thing Diablo 3 has that I wish D4 had is the Crusader class, dude. This dude wants to buy something from me. Let's see how much this is. 25 Exalteds. I have to take this trade, bro.
Selection, to be honest. The three you'll want to do are, well, first and foremost, the level 6 gems to rank 65. This one is really easy and you don't really have to go out of your way to do. You're going to be doing tons of Greater Rifts anyway. Then the Boss Rush Conquest. It's a little trickier. It's the one where you got to kill all bosses in 20 minutes. Just follow a speed build guide on max roll. Do it on Torment 10.
I really don't give a fuck about Diablo 3.
The later in the season that you do it,
this all about Diablo 3?
Be because the stronger
I don't care.
Then
so yes, he stopped talking about D4, which is the part of the video that I wanted to talk. He's going to talk about other stuff. I don't care. Great video from Rhykker. He's always fair, he's positive, but he's not afraid of criticizing what he feels needs to be improved. Of course, he measures his words because he has to do it, guys. But I love his videos. And yes, this was a great video, and it prompted us to talk about a lot of stuff that we feel about D4. I feel like at this point I have made like 4 videos about this. I think that it is pretty clear what we feel about the season at this point. Don't think we have much left to say about it at this point. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it, your final thoughts about this. I don't think I will keep milking this cow because it gave what it had to give. But let me your comments below, brother. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, brother. The subscription is just 1 click. It is easy, it is free, it is quick. You get content, I get a sub. It is a win-win. No reason not to do it. Don't be like that. Click the sub button, dude. Hey guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.